Hello everybody and welcome back to the Monster Madness YouTube channel where we talk all things spooky. And today we are doing another interview with some of the owners from Reaper's Revenge Haunted Hayride and Attractions here in Scott, Pennsylvania. And we're going to take a look at some of the new stuff that's going on this year, as well as an interview with these two guys right here. So let's get right into it.
Hi, I'm Todd Fedician. I'm one of the owners here at Reaper's Revenge in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Scott Township.
I'm Kelly Michael. I'm the creative director at Reaper's Revenge here in Scott Township, Pennsylvania.
Amongst a million other things that he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the big questions I have for you guys is the projection mapping that happened last year. Are you taking that any further this year?
Yes.
You know? Yes. Okay, like quite a bit?
That's all I can say.
Okay, so yes, you're going to have to come here and be surprised. Okay.
I'm joking with you, Sam. Kelly and I actually worked on the mapping all last year. We have some new software that we're beta testing this year. We're going to be still doing, obviously, the ring scene. We have something that we're actually planning 2 years in advance. So we have something in Alice we're going to be doing in 24. But with all our changes this year, got some really cool new lasers and moving lights for down in Commerce.
We're going to enhance the stage, we'll say that.
Yeah, we're just going to enhance everything that we learned last year because we didn't outsource any of that.
Todd did a lot of that work.
Yeah, but with Kelly and Ryan was out there with us. I mean, a lot of nights out there until midnight, 1 o'clock, just playing with the computer. Some nights were great. Other nights were like, why did I get involved in this? But yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right. What can people look forward to coming through this year that's different from last year? Like, what are some of the new things going on around here that you can tell some people about?
If you have, check out our social media if you haven't, but we got a lot of it out there. We're up, like, Sector 13 is getting a major overhaul, like one of the biggest ever.
Yeah, probably 80% of it is gutted right now.
Currently, waiting on concrete, thank you.
Yeah. Please, show up soon.
Right behind us, Pitch Black is getting some just little zhuzh here and there.
Yeah. But I mean, basically, Sector and Pitch Black both. Yep. I mean, Sector is getting a ton of love, and Pitch Black same way. But when you're in the darkness, you're not going to notice. You're just going to be touched by a lot of things.
I wanted to know, out of anything you could do, why did you choose this? Why haunting?
Oh. Wow, that's a crazy question for me because it wasn't. This wasn't like. This
wasn't
was
in
not.
The game
it wasn't
plan.
in the game plan. This was not my career. It was not the career path. Like, but once. I mean, I did it. As when I was younger, and I did haunt. I did scare people in a barn at a pumpkin patch. So it wasn't something that was new, but I didn't think this was the career path by any means. It was always going to be something different. And once we got going here, I realized that this was a great creative outlet and. That mostly, I like the weird things in my head can be utilized to entertain people.
and much like the rest of us, Kelly and Jen, his family, they own a very successful carnival business where they vend at the bigger events of the year. So, you know, we all take time away from Reapers to go handle our other businesses. But I see that this is where we get out that creativity, share what's in our crazy heads, and plus, this is just fun time for us. Like yesterday, we were up there and we were janking it up. Yeah, it's jankalicious.
It's Janktober.
Yeah, we're gonna jank it. But that's really what it comes down to. We're having fun up here, listening to some Richard Cheese, getting our vibe on. Please check out Richard Cheese. And, you know, we're just having a good time. We got good music going, and we're just loving what we do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look how beautiful it is outside right now. And we were just putting a fence up so you guys can park.
Sometimes you got to pound the post.
Yeah, we just did it. Just did it.
I want to know if you guys still get to act, even as owners, around here.
I do as much as humanly possible. I try to. Once the show is open and running for the evening, and I know I can step away and get into, but then I'm out there training the actors in full costume. With the walkthroughs, it's a whole lot harder to be in a Reaper's hoodie, standing back behind and being like, do this, Whereas if you're in there with them and you're on the front lines with your actors, it's a whole lot easier to convey that if I can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah.
And retaining the information that you're giving to them as in characters, but far none the way to go as far as I'm concerned training actors when you're open.
So, and I never know where Kelly's going to be. I know what he's doing all night and doing just that, but I'll be going to an attraction just assessing how the whole evening's going, and I am in that hoodie, and I'm just acting like a customer to see what's going on with the show. And there Kelly will pop out in a different costume, you know, but I know some of his characters, so, you know, I'm like, hey, what's up, you know? How you doing? You know, so it's cool.
And there was a few nights last year that Jen got out there that nobody had a clue who she was.
Yeah.
Like, she went full costume that was, and nobody would, like, they were like, who is that wandering around? So,
Yeah, Jen and Kelly, you know, are the head of our supervisor team that are out there in all the attractions all night long, working with the supervisors in each attraction, because there's a team that covers each attraction, and they're out there assessing just like we are. So if Travis and I see something that we want to address, Jen or Kelly, and we'll just talk about, hey, notice this over here. But, you know, again, then Kelly will jump in and say, hey, you know, you're doing a great job. This is cool. And our family is amazing up here. They all do a great job. But why don't you try this? And often something we'll just put out there as a little tidbit just because it wasn't working for us for whatever reason. Then the actors will own it and they'll take it to a level we didn't even see coming. Yep. So, I mean, that's the beauty of what we do. By Kelly being in character to do that or demonstrating something gives them that platform to launch on.
I want to be the hype in the actor I want to see.
Yeah?
Okay, so that kind of leads me into my next question. Is there any roles in particular that you like to play, like any characters?
Puzzles is always a great one.
Yeah.
The guy in the video stuff is, I wish we could do more of it differently.
Well,
but
we are too. We got a little
Yeah.
spin. We are we closing something down for renovations.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a close sign on it.
And basically just scaring people in general. It doesn't matter what I'm in. Wouldn't take one over the other, but puzzle stuck for a while, and it grew on me to
I
be out
definitely miss scaring. You know, I miss being in character. It's not as much fun. I mean, Paul took me out of that years ago and said, you need to be, you know, going around everywhere and sharing what you've learned over the years, and assessing things like he always did. You know, I mean, because a lot of people don't realize that there's so many minds out here every night critiquing this show to make sure that it's always elevating. And I think that's what sets Reapers apart from, you know, somebody that's just getting started. No offense to them, they're doing a great job, whoever's doing whatever. But we've learned so much over 15 years where it's like, okay, let's get out there. No, that ain't working tonight. Let's try something different. The throughput isn't working here. We got timing issues. We fix it. You know, those are the things that make it look flawless to the public, where it takes 25 of us, you know, just supervisors, not to mention security, grounds, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 25 supervisors out there just making sure the actors are getting all the feedback and the tips that they need to really take their game to that level.
We do have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, 65 acres is quite a little playground there.
Okay, okay, so one question I did want to ask is, what do you foresee Reapers looking like in 5 years, like down the road? Do you see a 7th attraction? Do you see
No.
an attraction
No.
closing?
Let
and
me
being
be clear
replaced?
about there. There will not be a 7th attraction in 5 years.
No.
I mean, I could jump in on this. Really, in 24, right over the hill here from Pitch Black, I can see.
That's what I was just going to point over there.
Yeah,
That's gonna be...
it's all right there, and that's going to be huge in 24. So that first year, and then anytime we bring an attraction like Delirium was only 3 years old when we ran last season. So that's still evolving. Now, I have some ideas that the team has thrown a bunch of stuff at the wall. I could see some really cool stuff working out in Delirium, but it's going to be probably Sin is going to be open for, 2 years. Maybe the 3rd year Sin is open. We're going to be looking at, okay, as we upgrade the Hayride, as we still upgrade the Carnival, I want to get out there next year. While this is opening, we're taking care of Pitch Black and Sector right now. I see Delirium getting some really cool stuff in about 3 years, but I think we'll be staying at 6 attractions. I don't see us closing any of them down. We're going to be getting to the point where it's over 100 minutes of terrifying entertainment For the ticket price, the average in the industry is $1 per minute. That would mean we'd have to get $100. We're $69. Or if you get that coupon from our website, ladies and gentlemen, you could save $20 on a Sunday.
That's a good deal.
Or $10 on a Friday.
Yeah.
So use our coupons. We're trying to shift the crowd. We don't ever change the amount of actors. We don't ever change the show. You're going to see the same show on a Sunday that you see on a Saturday. You're just going to miss the crowd. You're going to save money. So that's how we're trying to use a form of dynamic pricing that Paul invented to just kind of shift our crowds. And it's been working. I mean, I don't want to see the show change. I just want to see it continue to be that level. I'd actually love to just see all the crowds plateau out through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, almost as if we only got so many spots. Once they're filled, you got to go to another day.
Yep.
That's in the best case scenario, and we work towards that. But, you know, I mean, we're getting to the point where we're really starting to learn how to efficiently manage the crowd. We were just working down in the parking lot to help to make sure you're ready for parking this year. You know, I mean, we look at all our concerns each year, and we try to address them to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people think we never change anything.
And I just
We
want
do.
to say, if you do come, just from personal experience, if you do come on the Fridays and Sundays in September, the crowds will be even less. They get crowded more towards the season. If you do come on those nights, it will be less crowds.
And
that
still
will
the
also
same show.
mean, yeah, and that will also mean a creepier experience for you because there'll be less people, it'll be more eerie, you know. You won't be around so many people and it'll be more scary. So,
Yeah, and you know, and Kelly brought up a great point. It is the same show, so before we even open the gates, where this year it opens on my mother's birthday, September 22nd, and that Friday night, I guarantee you that show is going to be ready to click because we've already gone through all the dress rehearsals.
It's the same amount of actors we have allotted for everything, and we staff it. It's staffed.
Yep.
No matter what night, no matter if it's raining, like we're putting as many people in their spots as we possibly can every night we are open.
Yep. But when we get to that first opening night, we've already worked the bugs out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like we're putting them out there and saying, "Oh, I hope opening night goes well."
Five
No.
nights of dress rehearsals.
Yeah.
A good portion of our actors are veteran, returning actors. So you already have some talent out there that's helping the new people do their thing.
And then even before
We're
Hell
ready
Week,
to
which
go.
is our dress rehearsal week, before you even get to that, Kelly and the crew is out there. They're doing trainings on site. We have actor clinics all summer long. There's a lot of things. We have fun days for our family. So if you're looking to scare somebody in the woods, come join us at ReapersRevenge.com.
Yeah.
What is your favorite attraction here?
Well, it's one big Reaper's Revenge, but my heart goes to the carnival every time. I really do believe they all have their strong attributes. This is chaotic, overwhelming.
I don't like this place.
No, it's
Never liked it.
amazing. Nobody
Oh,
else
it's
has
awesome.
one like we do. Sector 13, nobody else has one like we do. You know what I mean? Like
like
there's some
either.
things that we do that others are not. But the carnival definitely has my heart.
What did I say was my favorite Pumpkin Hill? My
You
favorite
said the
scene.
hayride, I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the scene, but the scene that I can get specific with the scene,
Yeah.
and Pumpkin Hill has always done it for me. There's something beautiful about that. I mean, right on my phone right here, ladies and gentlemen, that's Pumpkin Hill. You know, so I mean, I'm always drawn to the hayride because I just think that we take the hayride to a level that you just don't see a lot in the industry. So,
You know, I just want to put out there too, my personal favorite scene from the hayride, I didn't really tell you guys this, is way back in Reapers, before they had Pumpkin Hill. They had these Reapers on crosses lined up.
Yeah.
That was my favorite, and they kind of put a momentum to that right after you get through the first scene in the hayride with all the Reapers floating and stuff and going across the wires. But that was my personal favorite
That was
scene.
the first place I acted here.
look at that little history. Yeah, now the floating reapers are so cool with the candles. It's just that really sets the tone for what you're about to see in the evening. And you know, and a lot of times too, you know, when people will say, well, if things changed, the second we change things,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, I actually pushed to try to do something different at Thriller years ago. And I'll tell you, people will get upset with us. And every time I see that, I get that little giddiness inside. So I get it. You know, you want those experiences.
Yeah.
You're bringing new friends of yours and you're like, oh, you got to see this. You know, you want your friends to see that. You want to say, well, they used to do this there. So please take it with a grain of salt. Like, we're constantly up here changing things, but
there's some standards.
Yes,
there's
there's
some
some
iconic
standards,
that we need to, we feel we need to keep around
Yeah.
because they're the crowd would expect it.
Do you think that the hillbillies will ever make a return?
Or we, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's just yes. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
There's no
So,
doubt about it.
And
They've been taking a couple years drinking in the woods.
okay. And my last question is, can you give us any new information about the new haunted attraction? Other than that, what we heard, it may be called Sin. That's all I got from this interview so far.
That's the best thing we've landed on. Kelly came up with Sin, and we were tossing around House of Sins. But, I mean, really, it's just our interpretation of the deadly sins, or what we think they would be. Last night we worked out the floor plan inside. Our new building's going up in a couple of weeks. So we're going to be working on it all up until the season, kind of getting things ready. You will not be going through it this year, but you'll see it. It's a 2-year project. What a lot of people don't realize is we plan 2 to 3 to 4 years out what we're doing, and we've already got our agenda on the plate for next year. So that's something this size takes that to move roads, to get excavation done, to get permitting done with code. It's not like we just hope that it works out. We put a couple sticks up in the woods. Things are in the ground.
This is the real deal. This is everything. I can tell you, this is everything we've ever wanted to do. We did not have a traditional haunted house here at Reaper's Revenge.
Yeah.
And we're it's going to be untraditional, traditional haunted house.
And it's so much fun. Like the floor plan we worked on last night. I mean, it's just neat how we're going to mess with your perception of things, and take your equilibrium away from any chance we can to make you feel uneasy. And then when you're really uneasy, you're going to think we're going to hit you, and we're going to hit you from somewhere else. I mean, you have no idea the multi-dimensional scares there and the thoughts that's going into this. I mean, like Kelly said, we haven't had the opportunity to do this. It's a nice building where we're 100% all in-house designing and pulling it off.
Yeah. Indoors.
Yeah. And at that point, we'll have kind of 3 indoor things here, because Sector is starting to get more and more roof and concrete each year. So between Sin, Pitch Black, and Sector, you kind of got a nice 3-banger here, and that's going to open up a lot of different opportunities for us, and stuff that's undercover and protected, because it's a lot of work to put the hayride back together every year. I mean, we don't just leave all of it out in the woods and hope that it works. I mean, there's tear down, there's setup. It's a process. You speak of, we tried something last year. We wanted to see how, we knew we were going to replace the screens at the ring, but we had some stuff that was given to us. We tried. It ripped. We got to replace it. So those are certain things. Now we're going to have them custom made so they can go up and down. But it's all trial and error. You learn.
We're the outdoors and the elements. It's like to do what we do sometimes, especially with with what things are made out of, to get it to where we have them. It's it's Mother Nature. We gotta be like super nice to her. That's all.
Well, last time Kelly and I interviewed Bart Butler and Michael Edwards from Tearing the Corn out there in the Denver, Colorado area. Hi guys, I'll see you in a couple weeks. They were indoors before, and then now they're out in the elements, and we were just kind of laughing. What have you come across? What do you see as your difficulties? Because when we do our seminars at the trade show, Kelly and I sat down and we kind of wrote down what we've learned over the years and how we could share that information. And then just yesterday, we had a fellow haunter from downstate in Pennsylvania that saw our seminar this year at the trade show, and he came up. We taught him all the safety protocols that are in place for Pitch Black. Because if you do ever have a fire, and we did have one, we're able to get everybody out in less than 30 seconds safely. I wasn't even on the scene, and it was already gutted. And it was just a small little spark and something, and it was out immediately. But it's those safety protocols and the planning that everybody knows what they do. We have safety training before you open anything. Yep. My partner Mike goes around, and he's the director of facilities here, but also our safety program. And that's what we were just doing. Part of our safety upgrades for the year, making sure things are safe down in the parking lot. You have to assess everything.
Yep. All right. Well, that was Todd and Kelly from Reaper's Revenge here in Scott, Pennsylvania. Do you want to get your plug in there?
Please visit reapersrevenge.com.